since 1966. But how much longer will they be playing football in Oakland, California? Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the London Bulldogs and the Oakland Raiders. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On second down, here's Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. Time to meet the defensive starters for the Oakland Raiders, and you want to discuss one of their safeties.
I certainly do. Carl Joseph out of West Virginia. Always did a great job policing the middle of the field. A big hitter, knocked the ball away, but really added to his game his last year as a Mountaineer. Became a better cover guy and a better ball hawk before he got injured. They're really going to love him in Oakland.
He's going to loft and got his man complete. It's a big play there on third down. 42 yards.
There's obviously nothing shy about the guys dialing up offense here. They take a shot on third down, and boy, did they get rewarded, even though there was good defense on the play.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And the defense has a big seam, and he might go all the way. A great read, and it's picked off. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early.
And the Raiders have got him. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now Wentz on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And to give this time to the tailback. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it'll give the Raiders a first down.
And that run was what a lot of people called an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a two tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think of run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Well, sometimes we talk running backs, sometimes we talk wide receivers. Walford, the tight end in this unit, very important.
Clive Walford, a terrific player. Knows how to work the inside portions of the field, but also can surprise you and get deep.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Call it a 1-yard gain of the play, and it'll make it a second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position. To actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He was a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put in.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it's London football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They come up in an offset eye. Slot man moves right. And they'll go on the ground. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster. It all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. Looking left sideline, it's complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Now let's go. Green.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does. And that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
To throw is Wentz. This will be caught just inside the 10. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's brought down. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Really good, solid run right there, and they did it from a 4 wide receiver set. And if you're an offensive coordinator, they used to tell people, hey, we're going to throw the football. Now they use 4 receivers on the field to spread things out, give them more running lanes and more options. And also, it usually takes the bigger defenders off the field, makes the defense lighter and easier to run against.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Carr now on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that. And he's into the clear. He's at the 40. Touchdown! A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And he's able to put it through. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now here come the Raiders. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. It's caught by Clive Walford. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense has it 1st and 10. One receiver to the left is Cooper. Carr now on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Carr to throw on 2nd down. Surveying the field. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage. And
now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top. As we send you now to Orlando and our Tiburon studios, where Larry Ridley's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
We ready? Ready, 18.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Brought in by Walford, right side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
To throw, it's Carr. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So they're operating in the red zone. They go play action here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover. Over there as his guys will get the football back. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
It's a big play there. 46 yards. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around, not just in the huddle, but looking over the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Wentz now on 1st down. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
One receiver to the left is Cooper. And he'll give it here to his running back. Room here to run. The 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And the lead is up to 14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Second down now after the pass completion. On second down, here's Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. Back now here on EA Sports. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the fourth. On first down, Wentz trying to lay one up deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Wentz will try again on second down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Mario Edwards in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does he do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Back to the air on second down. Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Wentz got it under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A big-time sack there on 4th down. In there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Carr now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Now this offense ready to take over again. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Wentz. He's got his man on the crossing route. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that...
Nowhere to go. Here, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to...
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown! Their dangerous wide receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part 1 of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
All right, here we go.
Carr going to throw here. Going up top. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end the ball.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Watch it now. Check 43.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. And this is caught. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A big play there with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Carr going to look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Second down here after the incomplete pass.
We ready? Red 18. Zebra.
Back to throw. Carr. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. In the red zone this time.
We ready? Wide and eight. Wide and eight.
To throw is Carr. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's second down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Second down now after the incompletion. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Red 18.
Carr to throw. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Oakland, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile, for London, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.